Is it true that you have decided to chop down 10,000 azaleas from the collection at the National Arboretum?
No. Well, yes.
What do you mean?
Only the part about chopping down 10,000 azaleas is true.
But aren't they the most popular attraction at the National Arboretum? Drawing over 100,000 visitors each spring to marvel at a floral display equaled only by the cherry blossoms on the National Mall?
You are correct again. But there lies the problem. Being popular is not all it's cracked up to be.
What do you mean?
Well, it is difficult to provide enough parking for that many people, and we wouldn't want people to park on the street and walk over.
Why not?
They might have to walk an additional block or two.
I thought visitors went to the Arboretum with the expectation of going on scenic hikes.
Yes, but those additional yards might lead to overexertion. Next thing you know, unhealthy, under-exercised tourists from all over the country will be dropping like flies left and right. Speaking of dropping stuff, it takes dozens of additional porta potties to accommodate such large crowds. We wouldn't want people just doing their business behind some azalea bush. Come to think of it, they might benefit from the extra acidity. I will assign a special research committee to study the issue first thing Monday morning.
Couldn't you encourage visitors to use public transportation?
This is Washington, D.C., Mr. Smarty Pants, the capital of the most powerful nation on earth. If you are looking for efficient public transportation, go to Paris, London, Tokyo, Mexico. Wherever, for crying out loud.
But isn't cutting down the azaleas a radical solution to what seems to be a management problem? Do you have a particular issue with them due to some childhood trauma?
No. I don't hate azaleas more than any other plant. Actually, once I'm done with the azaleas, I will begin cutting down the boxwoods and digging up the daffodils.
Why?
They're giving us a bad reputation. People think boxwoods are what's used to make box wine containers, and daffodils are, well, very narcissistic.
But how are you deciding which azaleas should be removed? It is my understanding that some of them are beautiful mature specimens, in some cases, over 60 years old.
We are targeting those plants for which we have no documentation of origin. Provenance, if you will. They are kind of like having a bastard, or an illegitimate child. He might be cute as a button. You're still not going to have him be the ring bearer at your wedding.
I still think this is rather radical. You lost private funds in the amount of $110,000 a year, which was enough to cover the salaries of 2 full-time gardeners, if they're Mexican that is, yet you also received $9 million in federal stimulus money to renovate your facility. What good is it to have a beautiful facility, if you're going to get rid of what draws people there in the first place? Why not just pave the whole thing over, so that you are no longer bothered by visitors, nor have to pay gardeners? Maybe one day our tax dollars will pay for a sports franchise to build a new arena nearby, and you will then be able to rent the National Arboretum as parking?
Listen, grasshopper. Sit down before you hurt yourself. There is more to managing the budget for a government organization than just crunching numbers, understanding economics and public relations. Sometimes you have to make tough and unpopular decisions that will ultimately benefit all. That's what's called thinking outside the box. Or is it inside the box? Whatevers.
Be that as it may, the beauty of the azaleas at the National Arboretum will be lost for generations to come.
People don't miss what they don't know. That's human nature. Our plan is to be very thorough in the removal process. Once we are done, no one will ever be able to tell there were azaleas there in the first place. Problem solved. You seem perplexed.
I just don't know what to say.
How does my hair look?
What?
Forget it. You can just kiss my hoary, azalea, also known as Rhododendron prenophyllum, or Azalea prenophylla, or Rhododendron nudiflorum, or Rhododendron roseum. Ha ha. I just made a funny.